So yeah, you can shoot, you can video this, you can take photographs, but I'm just not going to do a whole separate Wednesday for those in never menu. So, anyone like to ask a question? Just stick a hand up. Yes, question just there.
Yes. Well, I have a burning question, I must say. You are pretty fascinated.
Everyone just quiet down the back.
Thank you. You're pretty fascinated, or at least interested in Nazi. Am I right?
Well, yeah, I want to stop the fucking Nazis coming back. If you think about it, extremism in any generation. The Spartans were Nazis. They were throwing their kids out. They took over the tribe next to them, the Spartans, and they re-invaded them every year. You know this? They put them back into slavery every year. They did a whole celebratory thing of this, and then they sent their teenagers out, and one of the things they're supposed to do was try and kill one of the, is it the Himalite tribe? Was that the thing? Anyway, so it started from that. It's obviously a type of thinking that's gone back. It's the lying and the bullshit and the propaganda. The Nazis were extreme on this, but you saw the Second World War.
Not live, but
documentary.
Not live.
Yeah, so that's why I just in my country, the right wing are constantly pulling away. There's Nazis who turn up in every country, and so I feel I'm a British European transvestite. I feel I should fight for the most of us, which is centre, right, centre, left, and stuff the right way.
Well, the question was that was just introduction. Well, the question was.
Get to the question.
Yeah, and to the question. You are doing the show in Germany.
Yeah.
And how do you do Nazi
the bit about
jokes
Nazi
in Germany?
Anyone born 1940 afterwards, I could say 1938, has nothing to do with the Nazis. Germany before 33 were just another imperial country. Everyone in Europe, all the big countries, were just invading, grabbing land, doing all that stuff. Since 45, Germany has tried to be exemplary. For 12 years it went batshit crazy because Hitler, who the Germans interestingly say, a friend of mine say the Austrians say, well, he was Austrian. The Austrians say, no, you took him. It's nothing to do with him. But the kids, it's nothing to do with them. You know, if they're born in 1940, it's nothing to do with it. So I want to talk to them exactly like I talk to anyone.
But it's a sensitive question.
Sorry?
But
No, fuck it. It's not. It's nothing to do with them. And they have this burden of the guilt they have to carry around. So I will talk about it. I was asked in Germany when I was doing Belgrade, they said, you said Hitler was a mass murdering fuckhead. Do you still stand by that? And I said, yes, I did. And I said the German people, the real German people, the 250,000 that went out to greet Barack Obama when he came to speak there, and those the German people were there before 33, and they're there after 45, and that's the Germany that I hope is here to stay. So that's the German people I'm talking to. Yes.
You always do a dialogue in your shows. How that shit came out?
Why am I doing dialogues? That comes from Monty Python, really, because I used to do sketches. So in Monty Python, I used to, when I was doing sketches like Monty Python, copying them, I used to play one of the characters. So, this Scottish lady just turned up in the thing. I would just play this, or like in Darth Vader and God, I would just play God, and then someone else would play Darth Vader, and someone else play Mr. Stevens. But in the end, I could just keep moving around, and I'm playing 4 characters there. And in the old times, I just used to play one of them.
When you was street performer,
this is the second question. Sorry?
Do you believe in punk?
Do I believe in
Punk.
In bank?
Punk, yes.
Punk music, punk music.
Sorry? Punk rock?
Yeah.
Do I believe in punk? Well, punk freaked me out when it happened. Punk was very much a working class, angry, push everything back, kind of nihilistic thing, and I wasn't quite that. I was into. My first record I bought was Squeeze Call for Cats, which is Pink Bible, and then Ian Dury hit me with your rhythm stick. Now Ian Dury really was punk, and he had polio when he was a kid, and he came through that to fight his way out, but the music had a great beat to it, but also had a melody to it, and attitude, so that's where I sit. People used to say my humour was kind of gentle in a way, or it wasn't really attacking, but if I can attack into the Nazis and the fascists and the extremists at all times, then it is using my humour in a good way. So I believe in some of the essences of punk, but not the complete nihilistic element.
New punk.
I'm going to go... I think Peter Sellers would have, but it's interesting, the people who choose that they can do stand-up and they can't, back in those days, they did have people doing much more kind of standardized stand-up, which is kind of mother-in-law jokes and kind of not like we do it now, not in the post-Lenny Bruce world.
Yeah, but he did it on BBC with.
He did stand-up?
Well, no, he sat down. And on BBC, what was it called? The Goon Show?
Yeah, he did the Goon Show, but that was more like 3 people and they're doing scenes and he was playing characters. So Peter liked to play characters and he was brilliantly funny and great accents. And with Spike Milligan, who's really the godfather, because he wrote all the Goon shows which influenced Monty Python. So I think both of those could have been great stand-ups. I mean, Michael Palin I was just talking to, and he's doing shows at the moment. He was publicizing his new book, and so he was doing Q&As or whatever he was doing, and he liked doing that. So, you know, anyone could... yes, they're behind your head, I'm afraid. So.
Do you do different preparations during different venues? Because I think we were all like, well, not disappointed, but surprised that it was in this small venue, whereas you could maybe fill a much bigger venue in Belgrade.
You can't tell. First time in, we can't tell. Now we can tell how fast that these went. The first day went, 500 tickets went in 2 hours. So
we can expect you again.
Well, yeah, I'll be definitely coming back because I did want to get to Belgrade.
Thank you.
It's what you guys went through and what everyone went through in the war, and particularly as you know. Some people think, this is Milosevic's thing, and it's all Serbians thought exactly like him. I go, no, because when George W. Bush was in power, everyone thought all 300 million Americans thought exactly like George W. Bush, and we know that that's not true. But people get into this shorthand. So I wanted to break that. I wanted to be here. I wanted to be in Moscow. Certain places I just wanted to be, and so I'll come back and I'll play a bigger place.
I have a couple.
I'm going to ask you, then you, and then
And then you sure you're running for mayor of London 2020?
I am running for mayor, yeah. I'm running for mayor.
Can we move there? Can we vote?
I'm not sure what the voting things are. I think you have to be a resident of London. Come on! I don't know. I'm not sure how it all works. But anyway, I have to get the nomination for the Labour Party in 2020. I know, in 2019. It'll probably be. We're not exactly sure. So I have to get so I got 6 years and 1 month to do all the rest of this.
Are you going to change your appeal?
Sorry?
Are you going to change your appeal?
My appearance?
Yes, appearance.
No, I'm going to be one trying to get a look that's girly and boy at the same time. I am all boy plus extra girl, so it's not a half boy, half girl. Yeah, it's the male tomboy thing. So, I think my political statement's in my fingers. So I'm going to get your question.
This is a cliche question, but do you like more action movies, like you said, Die Hard, or comedies? And which movie makers do you prefer? I mean, in general.
Well, very good director. There's a lot of good directors, and in the Scorsese area, between Scorsese and Spielberg, and there's a lot of people I'd like to work with. I'm not planning to hire them. If they ask me, then that's great. I'm working with Brian Fuller at the moment on the Hannibal series, and he is a great series producer, showrunner, and so I love working with him, and I'll do anything that he's after putting me in. And
comedian directors.
Sorry?
Comedian directors.
Well, I'm not looking to do comedies. I do comedy here. I think this comedy is pretty good, and I'm doing German next year. I'm going to do hopefully Spanish next year, then Russian's a couple of years on, and then Arabic. And so I've got my work cut out for this. I think I've proved I can do comedy, so I want to do dramas, and I love watching action movies. I'd like to do thrillers is really what I'd like to do. I need to I think I'm believable as characters who, not necessarily a Jason Bourne type, but if a situation is pushed upon them, then they can keep going. Like in The Fugitive, Harrison Ford played that character that shit happened to him and he just kept on going, and I think I'm believable as a keep on going type of character.
We're cheering for you.
Sorry? Okay.
Who's doing your nails?
Question that...
Who's doing your nails?
Oh, Yelena. I'm not sure her last name, but she's an expert here from Belgrade. Yes.
I first saw you in London in 1992, and you were hilariously funny, and that's why I've come back.
You sound English.
I am totally from London. And I was just wondering, for me there was like a dip. Why Hollywood? Why would you go there?
Oh, okay, in Hollywood. Why a dip though?
I don't know, because for me, like, British comedy is on a different level. And then, I don't know if you were taking your comedy to Hollywood. I didn't really follow your career once you went there.
Well, no, that's the thing. No one can tell. It isn't a dip, but it's like people say it's a dip coming here because people in Britain don't know what's happened tonight. I have to go back and tell them what's happened. Yeah. This is the thing. So wherever I go, the point is you can just sit in Britain and go round and round and sit in Britain and go round and round, and maybe do some beer commercials and go round and round, and make some money and have a big house and go round and round. Or you can be adventurous and you can go and play Hollywood Bowl. I was the first person doing stand-up to play Hollywood Bowl, sell out Madison Square Garden, take the stuff over there, play. I'm going to play 50 states in America next year. I don't think any comedian's done that, even American. No, but my point is, these aren't dips. And I'm now working with Brian Fuller, who's an excellent series
So it wasn't just the ego, it wasn't just the
Oh no, ego's involved. I have a dangerously healthy ego, but it's you know, playing the whole of Europe. I will have to go back and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. What has just happened here? Playing Zagreb, playing here, playing Ljubljana, playing Riga, and playing Tallinn, and then Moscow, because people will go, "Were you dead?"
Do you think this audience was so much more supportive than say in London or something? I felt this audience was with you from the first.
It is very supportive. Maybe, you know, I don't know if there's a lot of comedians coming over into Belgrade. So that's the point. So if I come over, maybe someone else will go, "Hey, fuck it, who's doing it?" I know that Jimmy Carr went out to play South Africa and said, "Oh, if this guy's playing, then I can go." I think he did that based on that. So it's you know, I do adventurous things. I don't go, you know, to do things that the public might necessarily want me to do, because if I did, I'd just still be repeating the old Darth Vader sketch, which I so yes.
Yeah. Exactly. How do you prepare for the show? Just the moment before the show? Do you have some like traditional rituals, or you have some?
No, I do nothing. I wanted preparation that has.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, like, do you have like some rituals that you do, like, you know? Like,
no. There's no rituals, no preparation, no getting into things, no process, no everyone out of my room, no nothing. What I want is the similar thing to just being here, and if I went on stage over there, you know, I just walk over there and go on. That's what I like. I was a street performer, so there was no barriers, and I like the no barriers. Whereas in theatrical thing, you can get into a whole space, and then, you know, and some people do brilliant acting that way. I worked with Lindsay Duncan, who's a brilliant actor, and she would be an hour and a half getting into her space, and I didn't do that. I was nowhere near as good as her, and I think I've got better since then, but I have slightly different. For theatrical or film drama work, it's slightly different to this, but the stand-up, I just want to wander on and go, "Hey, there's a guy up there."
Explode,
Yeah, we'll just wander on and start chatting.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a couple of questions. Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. So, so you guys here, do you travel a lot? Because I had there's a huge amount of money. So you guys all do travel. So you, some do, some don't. Where do you go to? Do you go anywhere you can, or is it
Anywhere money allows.
Not to UK.
Not to London.
Sorry?
We need visas to get to UK.
Oh, really?
It's expensive. And it's very difficult to get to.
So where can you go to?
Europe.
The rest of you.
Anywhere else in the EU.
Oh, really?
Well, except for Ireland.
Yeah, also that.
Anywhere in the Schengen Agreement?
Except UK and Ireland.
And are things heading in politically, are things heading in a okay direction at the moment?
So we're in front of a suicide. Collapsing. Baby steps.
The same way as before, but a different taste?
Yeah.
But no one's getting guns out, are they?
No.
Not yet.
Wolves in sheepskin.
Right.
So it's the same players, just 20 years later.
So the players all just moved around? Can the radical moderates change this? Or?
I believe. They started everything.
Just keep on coming.
Maybe if you run for the president, we would vote for you.
We got extremists posing as moderates.
Yeah.
Extremists posing as moderates, interesting.
But they're doing more to get into the European Union than the people before, in my opinion. So
Right. And you guys differ. And you guys are not sure about getting into the European Union, yeah? You're not. Well, at the time of an economic crisis, then no one's choosing to do anything terribly radical.
But we're used to that. Economic crisis.
Right? Yeah.
We're good at it.
But you're also, but you'll survive, yeah? Because you're survivors, yeah?
We're resilient as cockroaches.
I think Brazilians are badgers, maybe. You need to be positive psyching on this. I mean, I decided to be an action transvestite, an executive transvestite. So, and as you know, if you're lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender, you're supposed to die in the film halfway into the film. I'll be there as the credits go down. This is the way to think.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you have against musicals?
They're just not me. They're kind of bold, it's jazz hands. Sorry?
It doesn't always
No,
have
it
to
doesn't
be.
have to be. No, I mean like Cabaret the musical, that's a really interesting dark musical. I liked Hairspray the musical. It's almost a musical for people who didn't like musicals. It's not my central thing. I mean my central thing, action movies, thrillers, some comedies.
Sweetheart, it's a mixture of thrillers, comedy.
Yes.
You act across the universe. That's me.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm happy to act in things. Like I will act in more plays than I will see. It's just I'm not a musicals. I mean, I'll watch them, and I have watched a few, but yeah, well, there is a cheerful thing, except Jesus Christ Superstars. I don't know. It's just not my main central thing. Some people love music. I gotta get me to another musical, and there's people who go back and back and back. Gotta see, what's the one by ABBA one? You gotta see that. And it's just okay, and that's not me. I'm somewhere else.
More Nazi.
Question. It's opinion. Your next movie project should be Eddie Izzard's History of the World.
Well, I'm hopefully setting that up as we speak. I've been practicing to do a history thing on it, but
For Mystery Men 2.
well, I don't know if that's got too many stars. I know, too many. It was. They lost a lot of money, I think, because it was like a cult film with a mainstream budget, and that was never going to do it. I'm going to have to pack up kids. One more joint question between the two.
Thank you so much.
Would you like some cake?
No, you know what? You ask it.
No, I just wonder what kind of music you listen, because I was turned to you when Lee Hazlewood named his album after your joke. His last album was named Cake or Death.
Yes.
and it was his last album because he died 6 months after.
No, yeah.
So how do you react? Do you ever
I think that is
listen to
amazing. That is amazing.
do you ever listen to him? To Lee
No,
Hazlewood?
I didn't know
do you
that he'd
ever
done this. I didn't
met
know
him?
the stuff. I didn't meet him, no. He did that out of the blue, and that is amazing, and...
because he said you were the greatest comedian that he ever saw in his life.
Well, that's I never think there was one greatest, I always think there's a bunch. I like to be up there punching the way up there. But,
Yeah, it's okay.